Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our beautiful community. Miss Kamatara is right here. So lovely.
I get to see you, and then I just...
She's here, and then she's not. We've got a couple of new songs, I think, to us. But if you've been around our little Centers for Spiritual Living for a little while, you might know these. So the first one is Blessing to the World by Karen Drucker. So if you are able and comfortable, please stand and let us sing in this beautiful morning. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world, is a blessing to the world, is a blessing to the world. Beautiful. You knew it. You knew it. All right, we're following up with It's in Every One of Us.
Made famous by John Denver and the Muppets. Just saying. I love this song. You'll know it. Let's see.
We're waltzing today. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up all your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us to be free. Find yourself, let yourself simply be. We can all have everything without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us, here and now. It's in every one of us, here and now. Thanks, everyone.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Lisa Giuliano, so I've been hanging around here for about 20 years now, and this is my first time in this role. So I'm going to just read from the script, and I apologize ahead of time for any mishaps as we go. So here at the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces, we're more than a Sunday service. We're a growing, heart-centered community grounded in spiritual principles and open-hearted love. Our vision is a world in loving partnership for the good of all, and that begins right here with how we show up for one another. If you're here for the first time, welcome. We're so glad you found us. If you haven't already received our gift bag, be sure to pick one up, as there is a gift certificate to the bookstore in there for you. Inside, you'll find out more about who we are and a way to stay connected through our newsletter. And to those of you joining us online, welcome. It's an honor to share this space with you as well. There's so much goodness unfolding here, so be sure to check out our newsletter or talk to one of us after service. We'd love to get to know you better. I have a confession to make. I don't usually open the newsletter. Wait, I need to go to confession.
And God shall smite thee.
And the funny thing was, I was the one that kind of got it going back in the day. But there's so many goodies in there, and then I'm the one that shows up with the food when there's no potluck. But I'm going to go through some of the announcents here, just highlighting some of the things, but there's so much more in there. And so we invite you to, if you're not on the newsletter email, to go ahead and sign up for that. Okay, so the first announcement, we're expanding our Tithe team. We're adding a few new members to our Tithe team, the group that helps the local nonprofits we support through our community Tithe. Meg will be working with the team in the new year, and they may also help shape future service projects. So if you're interested in being a part of our Tithe team, see Yvette after service. And I guess it's next weekend, right? A special weekend with Dr. Will Tuttle. We're excited to welcome Dr. Will Tuttle. He's been coming here throughout the years. He's the author of the World Peace Diet, and he also is a wonderful pianist. So we're having a piano concert Saturday, November 29th from 4 to 5:30, and then he will be the guest speaker that Sunday. And after service from 12:30 to 2:30, he's doing a workshop titled "The Keys to Developing Your Intuition," 12:30 to 2:30. Both events are offered on a love offering basis, so bring a friend and enjoy this uplifting weekends. So he's been coming through for the 20 years that I've been here, and he's just a very centered in peace person, walks the walk kind of person, so I would encourage you all to come. We're going to share a short clip of his beautiful piano music now. General now. What a lovely way to start the holiday season.
I'm sorry, give me just a second here. I thought I had this figured out, but
Just really wanted to make sure that you could see the experience so that you would want to come. It's going to be really beautiful.
all right, one more time here.
Anticipation. Yeah, anticipation.
Oh, I know why. Hold on. It helps if I move the right way.
We can skip it if it works well for you.
Okay, I'll just play the sound. I'm sorry.
Wonderful, thank you. So our birthday's coming up. So we're going to celebrate our birthday on Sunday, December 7th, 49 years. at the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces. After service, we'll enjoy a birthday cookout and potluck with burgers, veggie options, games, and cake. Please stop by the lobby sign-in sheet and sign up to bring burger toppings, side dishes, drinks, as well as desserts. Or you can also, if you want to give cash for people to go out and buy that stuff, you can do that too. So we're turning our birthday into a blessing. Instead of birthday gifts to the center, we're inviting everyone to support our Garden de los Niños Adopt a Family projects. Teens are the most overlooked group, so we're focusing on items that make the biggest difference for them. Bring your gifts through December 7th. A few helpful ideas: gift cards. They like the gift cards. Those are the top priority. Cozy items, teen-friendly self-care, journals. That's a big one that I like. Water bottles, earbuds, etc. There's a full list available in the social hall and in the newsletter.
Unwrapped gifts.
Thank you. Okay, so the power of prayer. Here at the center, we believe in the power of prayer, what we call spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. If there's something on your heart, we invite you to fill out a prayer request form. They're in the chair backs in front of you. If you're in the front row, you can reach back and get it that way. You can drop your card in the prayer box at the back of the sanctuary, place it in the offering plate, or submit a request anytime at csLlascruces.org. Your requests will be lovingly held by our prayer team, a group of ministers and licensed practitioners from all 4 local New Thought communities. And if you'd like one-on-one prayer today, look for a practitioner wearing a turquoise stole. So Judy, Beth, Bob, I don't know, he doesn't have a stole on. Bob, and they'll do a quick prayer with you, quick treatment. And we love good news too, so feel free to fill out a gratitude card and share what's going on in your life. We'd love to celebrate with you. As we know, prayer and treatment works. So go ahead and get into that space with a practitioner. So now is the time for song, silence, and prayer. So they're going to do a song, and then we'll do 20 or 30 seconds of silence, and then I'll lead us in an opening treatment.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
So I recognize that divine love now, divine intelligence, the divine power that we call love, that we call God, that we call spirit, that we call universe. And I absolutely know that that spirit is moving through me now, opening my heart, opening my mind. And the invitation is that this divine love, this divine intelligence is available to us always. So I invite you now to open your heart and your mind, just for this time where we're together, to just fully immerse yourself in the presence of spirit in this space, letting go of anything, just for a while at least, that's troubling you in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit. And I'm so grateful for this time together to help us remember who we truly are in spirit, that we are so much more than just our bodies, our minds, our thoughts. We are spirit. And I'm so grateful for the board members, the musicians, the ministers, practitioners, anyone, past, present, or future, who have lent their time, talent, and treasure to this space so that we could all bask in this brilliance now. And I give special thanks for those participating in today's service. We are so blessed, and I release this to law, knowing that it is so, and so it is. I've taken a reading today from Mark Nepo's 7,000 Ways to Listen. Deep listening. We listen deeply by listening to the source through immersion, absorption, and presence. The way Beethoven listened in the supreme silence of his deafness until the music of the spheres cascaded through as the Ninth Symphony. The way Einstein kept things in motion long enough to hear the whispers of relativity. The way the clairvoyant listens to the currents that run between the living and the dead, unsure of the signs they receive. The way the heart can feel the ache of another halfway around the world, unsure what brings such sadness. The way I knew my grandmother at 94 was waiting for me to come so she could die. How might you practice listening deeply? We can always begin by allowing ourselves to sink into the depth of whatever moment we are in, for depth is ever present. We don't have to travel to find depth. We simply have to relax our minds into the ground of where we are, the way roots unravel in the earth after a long, soaking rain. And so it is. Do I get down now?
You do. Thank you. So great job, Lisa. Amazing. Yay. And perfect timing. Oh, good morning again, everyone. My name is Yvette Trujillo. I'm a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces, and Reverend Kamatara and myself are your guest musicians for this fine day. Reverend Kamatara is pulling double duty as always. So we're going to start today with a beautiful song by Faith Rivera called God Is. Where I am, God is, and where I stand, God is standing strong, and where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me as me. And where I sing, God is, and where I dance, joy lifts my feet, and where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and doubt. God is the faith in me, and where I cry, God is the comfort there, and where I seek, God is the answer, here and now, forever and ever and ever. And where I speak, truth is, and where I work, love is my career, and where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me, as me. Where I am, and where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where I dance my dance, wherever I go, God is. God is. God is. Thank you. And so now as Reverend Kamatara makes her way up to the front of the room, I just want to take a moment to introduce this amazing woman, Reverend Kamatara. I got to spend a few semesters in school with her. She is a minister that travels throughout New Mexico. She speaks and gives ministers a break. And so she is very gifted, talented. She is the leader of a nonprofit organization called Circles USA and makes a huge difference in the lives of people that are struggling in poverty. And so we are blessed, so blessed to have this beautiful woman here with us today. Welcome, Reverend Kamatara.
Thanks, Yvette. Golly. And hello. It's wonderful to see you all. Just looking out over the beautiful faces here. Very nice. And it's always such a treat to do music with Yvette. So I always joke around I would drive to the moon to play for this girl to sing. So this is a little closer. It's only 3 minutes from my house. So it's good. And the topic of this month is actually the opposite of what I just expressed. It's loving the unlikable. Delish, right? We've been having an interesting month, haven't we? And I think with the holidays coming up, and we're gearing up for some seriously unlikable conversations. Would you like some yams with that? So, and I don't know about your family, but I always like to joke around that our family puts the fun back in dysfunction. So I know that you're going to be with all different people with the holidays coming up, and people that you might not normally see, or you're going to different parties and groups and just arrangements. And I don't know about you, but I know, there are conversations coming up, and I know it. And so I'm just curious, maybe, if we practice the art of dialogue and not just talking at each other with two overlapping monologues, it might go a little better. So today we're going to explore the practice of generative dialogue. And this is the kind of dialogue that creates a safe and sacred space to speak, to listen deeply, as Lisa read so beautifully today, and to make meaning together, even across differences. Because in these divisive times, this kind of community building tool can really shift us away from the polarities and instead foster collective healing, harmony, and bringing people together for the collective good. I think that'd be a great use of all the different holiday things we are going to be doing in the next month or two. Let's give it a whirl. So the old salty English teacher in me cannot resist doing some definitions in Latin roots, so here we go. So if you think about the word dialogue, D-I, usually means, right, two or more, and log, as in logical, right, logos, it means your reasoning. So dialogue is two or more people sharing their logic or reasoning, right, as opposed to monologue. Mono means one, right? And then if you think about conversation, whether it's in Latin or Spanish, what does it mean, right? And then verse, do you know that one? Verse means to take a turn. You could traverse something, it is in verse. You sing a verse in a song, you take a turn at it. So conversation literally means I'm taking turns with you. Rarely happens though, right? We did not get the memo on that one. So we might be averse to conversation. So, to quote Joseph Phelps, dialogue is the coming together of persons who desire to learn and grow in truth through building on the insights and observations of another, particularly an adversary. And did you notice the root word verse is an adversary also? Okay, so Hans-Jörg Gadamer says there's 4 key things to know about dialogue. He writes, dialogue focuses on a subject matter for the purpose of arriving at a mutual understanding of it. It is not a debate or winning over the other party. Dialogue requires that each person engage with goodwill, to hear something anew, and to form a bond of solidarity with the other person for this common purpose. Dialogue requires the willingness to offer reasons for one's view of the matter. So we must be open to the other and willing to explain ourselves to the other. I can't just whip out the mom because I said so. It doesn't work. And number 4, dialogue requires an acknowledgement that one knows that one does not know. We immerse ourselves in a humble and playful search for understanding. Wouldn't that be amazing if all of our holiday gatherings were a humble and playful search for understanding? I double dog dare ya. Wait, in the middle of an argument. Wait, I need to adjust myself so I can be humble and we can playfully understand each other. Yeah, I might not want to say that, I'm just saying. But your head could be thinking it. Or before you get out of the car and you're about to pick up your casserole, you're like, okay, recalibrate. Humble, playful, understanding, casserole. Got it. That's my checklist. Okay. So Diana Chapman Walsh writes, it's when we let our guard down and allow our differences and doubts to surface and interact that something authentic and original can begin to emerge, tentatively, in the spaces between us. I've found that it's often in these fleeting and complicated moments that the heart and mind can come into synchrony and point to new possibilities. The key is to remain alert to those moments and to move with them when they arise. So while we're eating our casserole, we can be just alert to the potential between us, between past the potatoes. There are all these moments where we could make the space for grace. So I really want us to think about, now that we've defined what dialogue is, to think about how it is not debate. Any of you on speech and debate team in high school or college? Oh, yeah. Como un abogado. I was a little lawyer. So, as I read off this list of defining characteristics of debate, you may want to take a moment to hold yourself accountable in a very loving and gentle but honest way. Okay, do any of these sound like you? The goal of debate is to successfully argue my position over someone else's. I listen in order to critique and counter someone's view. I listen for weaknesses to use for my advantage. I was such a pro. I speak based on assumptions about others' motivations. I would also add that I allow my storyteller to run rogue and drive the bus. Okay, that's just me. I ask questions to trip up the other person or confuse them. I interrupt when I disagree. I focus on the next point that I need to make. I critique others' experiences and I discount them. I express feelings to manipulate the balance of power in the conversation. And I use silence to gain the advantage. That is just a big pile of ouch, isn't it? And at the same time, guilty as charged. At times, like when I'm not mindful, when I forgot my casserole in the car, and I'm all flustered, and then I just, gosh darn it. So if we do recognize, holy cannoli, we're in it, and we're knee-deep, mile wide, could you just pause for a minute? Could you just say, we had secret code words when my former spouse and I were with my fabulous family. If there was a moment when we had to leave the room. And it was, I need to freshen my drink. And that was a secret code word for just don't question it. Needs to leave. Got it. Or I need to go get some ice. It used to be I need to check on the kids. But we can't do it anymore because we're older. So just think for a moment. What do you need as your little safety valve if you realize, I just did that. And I need a moment. You can go to the restroom, freshen up, look in the mirror, take a moment, set yourself back to grace, and then go back out. Because here's what we'd like to do. Here's the same list, except it's in dialogue mode. Okay. The goal of dialogue is increased understanding of myself and others. Would you not love to understand your family members better? Would you not love to understand the people in this room better? Anytime you got your knickers in a twist, wouldn't it be awesome to understand the other person better? And here's a nice one. I listen to understand. I listen for strengths in others' views to learn from them. I speak for myself from my own experiences. I ask questions to increase my understanding. I allow others to complete the things they want to communicate. I focus on others' words and feelings. And I accept others' experiences as real and valid for them, even if I disagree. I allow myself to feel and express emotions as another way to create understanding. And I honor the silence. So one amazing author said that dialogue needs 3 T's: teamwork, trust, and truth. Do you experience that oftentimes? Teamwork, trust, and truth. Because when we work together, trusting each other and trusting the process, then we get to arrive at the truth together. It's a lot of T's. Okay, so let's shift from dialogue into thinking about the word generative. We don't use that word a lot, generative. Are there any other gen words that come to mind? Generation, gentle. Oh, I like that. You got to turn on the generator, right? When your power goes out, you might have a generator. Okay, so generative means that you're making something. You can generate it, right? So if it's generative dialogue, it's making logic with two or more people together. Okay, so the formal definition is, it is a collaboration to increase knowledge and understanding while fostering new solutions and deepened relationships. So now think about your fabulous family or your holiday parties or all the birthday party that's going to be here on December 7th and all the things that you're doing, right? Now just imagine this there, that you are going to have a collaboration to increase knowledge and understanding while fostering new solutions and deepened relationships. Ooh, that sounds just as good as the casserole you're bringing. All right. Sorry, the Midwesty girl in me can't resist. So the generative dialogue was a really powerful tool back in the days when I was a school teacher, and I used to host Socratic seminars. And the Socratic seminars where you ask an impossible question like, what is love? And you don't expect a concrete answer. The way you get to the answer is that everyone contributes, and then you get there together. And what was totally amazing, I'd have juniors, we'd be reading the Red Badge of Courage, and then we'd ask, okay, what is courage? And then people would contribute. And every single class period came up with a different answer. And I'll do you one more. It was beyond anything I had ever thought of before. Totally humbled. I knew that I didn't know and that we were going to get there together. And I didn't have to drive the bus. We want everyone to get on the bus. I don't want to run them over with the bus. Get on the bus. So there were great discussions, things I had never thought of before, and it was super humbling. And do you see how the power position changes in that dynamic? We are partners on the journey, and we're going to make this meeting together because I don't have all the answers. If I did, I would have already done it by now. So we're going to make it together. So all of this sounds great, but how do we actually do this with others, especially if they're not exactly conscious? It's tricky, because I know that a lot of us have very blended families and co-workers and just all different scenarios that we're in where people may or may not be conscious, or conscious at all different levels. Or I could be completely conscious and suddenly go dormant of whatever situation I'm in. And I'm like, did that just come out of my mouth? Wow. Woo, that was from the old playbook. That was like Kamatara, just kidding. Whew, so the big key here, not only to set our intentions before we go into said places, but also to set ourselves for empathic listening. Empathic listening is the key to generative dialogue, because people are typically quite defensive when they fear losing something important to them if they don't fight. If people feel that they have to fight to be heard, you're already stacked up to not go well, right? So when people sense that their view is being dismissed, they tend to express it again, more forcefully, each time. Guilty. Whenever I find myself looping, I'm like, well, it's got to come out better the second time or the third time, or this person's not listening to me. I could be talking to the wall. So I end up saying it again because there's no recognition. There's no validating. There's no mirroring. It's like nothing just happened here. And then that's when I get my knickers in a twist. So if I can make the safe space for people to not repeat themselves, and when I can recognize if I happen to be the one repeating myself, I can take it down a few levels. Because when someone is speaking but doesn't feel heard, that's when the conflict escalates, right? But when a person senses that their perspective is being understood or heard or validated, even without agreement, you don't have to agree to hear someone, then you can just see them relax a little. And then no longer feel the need to keep repeating the same points over and over. It's called establishing goodwill. It's disarming, right? You can put your dukes down. And people who are heard feel seen. So Parker Palmer reminds us that the quieter we become, the more we can hear, and that the human soul does not want to be advised or fixed or saved. It simply wants to be witnessed. Can you be a witness when you go into your next family function? Wouldn't that be an amazingly different posture? To just hang back a little bit and be a witness of the divine in all of your family members or your coworkers or the fabulous community members that are here in this center. Wow. Krista Tippett writes, listening is about being present, not just being quiet. Generous listening is powered by curiosity, a willingness to be surprised. Most importantly, when a person's defenses go down, the mind is less occupied by the need to fight. And that means that they now have the mental space to actually consider what the other person is saying. If they've got 15 tabs open in their brain that all say, fight, be careful, protect yourself, justify, all the things that we do, right? But if you come in loving, gentle, open, grace, their brain goes, click, 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 just close them all down and they can just focus on, and here's the thing I'd like to say to this person. And then there's another space open for, what might this person say to me? I suddenly have the mental capacity and the heart space to have not only a dialogue, but a relationship. Because that's what we're going for here. Making people feel genuinely heard interrupts the battle cycle, and it opens up opportunities for real conversation and real relationships. The challenge is to set aside our own need to be heard just long enough to accomplish this. This ability is part of empathic intelligence, and it's a skill we can strengthen specifically through listening better. We just need to practice, practice, practice. And guess what's coming up? All these opportunities to practice. Yes. So Thich Nhat Hanh says, deep listening is the kind of listening that can help relieve the suffering of another. When you love someone, the best thing that you can offer is your presence. And your presence looks like mirroring, right? Facial and body expressions, empathizing. Wow, I can see how that would be so hard. Even if, right? Doesn't matter. I can see that feels really hard for you. Wow. I can ask open-ended questions. Wow, what does that phrase mean to you? You keep saying this phrase, and I would love to learn more. Or if something doesn't make sense, you can sincerely ask clarifying questions. Not to be a jerk, but to be like, wow, you seem really passionate about this, and I don't quite understand. Could you say that in a different way? I really want to understand what you're saying. To not be sarcastic. There's a lot of bank in that because so many people are so sarcastic, and when you ask something sincerely, there's a lot of power to that. We can offer verbal affirmations. We can recall previous information like, I heard that you said da-da-da-da-da, and I'd really like to add blah, blah, blah. Anytime I heard my students do that, I always gave them extra credit. They knew that was one of the things that I was like, okay, you're going to get, if you say, we practice doing that. It's amazingly powerful. The biggest thing we can do is just hold the space open, right? Just to make the space for grace, to assume positive intent. Don't come in with your dukes up. Heavens to Betsy. You're already at a deficit if we start with that, right? Okay, so before you get out of your little holy rolling tabernacle of prayer, aka your car, I call it my little holy roly tabernacle of prayer. I do a lot of prayer work in the car as I'm heading to where I'm going. And you can bless the place that you're going, you can bless the place that you're leaving, and you can bless the place where you are. That's my affirmation. I bless the place where I'm going, I bless the place where I'm leaving, and I bless the place where I am now. And especially when you're stuck in rush hour, which is much bigger in Albuquerque than it is here, I'm learning. But when you're at I-25 in Lowman, there's so many people to bless, right? Okay. So you're in your little holy roly tabernacle of prayer, and you hit the reset button, right? Brene Brown says connection is why we're here. It gives purpose and meaning to our lives. And empathy is at the heart of connection. It is simply listening, holding space, withholding judgment, emotionally connecting, and communicating that incredibly healing message. You are not alone. Because with empathic listening, this is where we can get to common ground together. And then we can actually have that conversation or have that generative dialogue. There's so much that we as human beings all want the same, right? We all want to be happy. We all want to be fed. We all want to feel a deep sense of meaning and belonging. We might have different ways to get there, but we can come together to find that common ground, come alongside, learn, stay open, develop a relationship, and then we can make meaning together. We might even change each other. I have an amazing older brother who is a right-wing conservative fundamentalist Christian, and anything that you might associate with that. And we have a common cause. It's my mom. She's in her 80s, and this beautiful brother lives closest to my mom in Wisconsin. And so I, maybe a year or two ago, started talking to him once a month on Zoom. And we have the most delightful conversations that are so loving and supportive of each other because we love our mom. And we're beginning to support each other because he has no one else to talk to, and I'm thrilled I get to listen to him. And little by little by little, over time, I've heard phrases like, I just heard this podcast by this amazing person named Wayne Dyer. And I was like, oh, is that interesting? Why don't you tell me some more? No judgment, thrilled. And as he's struggling in his marriage, and God bless him, he's like, I think I just understand that people just want to love whoever they love. And I was like, I think you're onto something there. That's fine. And hold the space. And the best part, our relationship is beautiful. We are there to lovingly support each other as siblings. We don't have to agree. And it's perfectly fine. And our family is staying together beautifully. Because when it does come time to take deeper care of my mom, we are going to have to be a united front on that. And the foundation is beautifully poured for that, and it's so sincere. And we understand each other in a deep and abiding way. I'm so grateful for that. Who knew? All right. So Ernest Holmes reminds us, we listen to hear the divine whisper in every person. And as we do, we are lifted into a greater understanding of one another. Wouldn't that be a great goal for all your parties and all your meetings and everything that happens at this center, whether it's a board meeting or a birthday party, doesn't matter. We listen to hear the divine whisper in every person. So that's the call to action. Every conversation is an opportunity to practice grace. What are you willing to experiment with this Thanksgiving and the rest of the holidays, along with that amazing casserole that you're going to make? Could you please remember what dialogue is? And recognize when you might be monologuing at someone or just debating. And pull it back. Hit the reset button. Set your intention to be an empathic listener, especially when you know you might disagree. Can you make the space for grace in between passing the potatoes? So Emma Curtis Hopkins says, it is the listening heart that transforms the world. The listening heart. That's how more people will come to deepen and evolve on this planet. Because it's not about revolution, it's about evolution, right? And we can call people in instead of calling them out. So I pray that you have a beautiful Thanksgiving, that you get to practice generative dialogue and empathetic listening over all of your wonderful turkey time. Thank you. Oh, so practitioners and ministers, would you like to surround the room? We're going to go to our prayer time. And this is just a beautiful symbol that the arms of the divine are always around you, lifting you up in prayer. Oh, so let's settle down and into that space that we know that we know. It's like the only thing that I know, that there is this one loving source, the all that is, the something sacred going on. It is the happening that is happening. We use the word God. One heart, one mind, one love. The universe, spirit, pick your terms. It's the something sacred going on right here, right now, in me and you and we and us. In this beautiful spiritual community, in this wonderful city, in this state, in this nation, and around the world and beyond, even what I can understand, all of it is God expressing in the here and now. Because this is God expressing in the here and now, it is infinite. Each one of us has access to the infinite warehouse of possibilities and all the God qualities that are out there. And so in this moment, I order up. I claim for each one of us a softening of the hard edges of the things we think we know, of the opinions and preferences and all the things that we're going to tell people about. Whoo, we set it down. We just surrender that to the divine, and we make the space for grace in our hearts, in our minds, in our guts. Anywhere where we might tense up before we go into all of our blessed holiday gatherings. Aren't we so blessed to have places to go and people to be with and these fabulous traditions and beautiful food and music and culture and all the wonderful things that we get to do that are such a blessing and such a great place to practice the art of generative dialogue and empathic listening. So anything that feels like tension, we're just going to release right now and surrender to the divine. And let that wave of gentleness and compassion and understanding lift us up. Let that be our way of being with our very precious family members and our coworkers and our community members. We lead the way with empathy and grace. And knowing that we show up as the divine in these moments, listening for the whisper of the divine in other people, I know that all of our holidays are blessed, blessed, blessed with bounty beyond what we could imagine or engineer. It surprises us as our relationships deepen and our understanding grows, and the casseroles are bountiful. So I know that we are divinely guided and blessed and supported every step of the way as we make a new choice in each moment. I choose to understand. I choose to listen. I choose to bless. And I'm so grateful what comes out of this new choice for each one of us and how we bless everyone who crosses our path, because we bring this level of consciousness to all of our gatherings. And I give thanks for all the beautiful people in our lives and all the wonderful things we get to do in the holidays. So knowing that we are supported every step of the way, I let it go and let it be. And so it is. Get to do more music. Get in the right lane. Okay.
Beautiful talk, Reverend Kamatara. So lovely, so lovely. Thank you. So we are going to do Imagine by John Lennon a la Eva Cassidy.
So much. Oh my gosh. You all know it. We're just saying. Okay.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Now it's the part of the program. I'm Judy Hunt. Good morning.
Good morning, Judy.
Where we give back to the center. And if you're like me, I am so grateful for the talk today was spot on. The music is so splendid. The place is lovely. We are so blessed. So now it's time to think about giving back to the center. And I love we collect from you, and 10% goes back out into the community this month to L'Esperance. And I love that idea that Lisa gave us about gift cards. We don't need to know sizes or colors, just gift cards. I love that. There's a big kiosk at Walmart with about 1,000 different places you can choose. And then the gift receiver gets to choose what they want. Love it. So think about that this week. We only have a week to collect those. L'Esperance, so that covered that. Let us do our blessing together, please. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God and me. And now we'll pass the plates and sing our song.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you so much for contributing. What has come in will multiply and go back out into the world. We are so fortunate. And remember, there are practitioners ready to pray with you, and have an awesome Thanksgiving week. We are now ready to receive from the people we're around. I've got it planted. I'm going to go out and do better. So thank you. We have a final song.
Yes, everybody, we're going to be doing Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. So as you are able, please stand so that we can sing this glorious closing song. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Have a beautiful week, everyone. Remember to sign up for the potluck list for our happy birthday. Get some prayer. Love on each other in the social hall.